How
Can
the
you?
fuck do you insult someone with a parallelogram?
When are you bringing the mustache back?
I can give you the actual truth if you want it.
You're a really shit star.
I was about to just hang up the call. I was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Nice one, dickhead.
Oh, come on, Logan. Don't be a circle about it.
What the fuck have you signed us up for?
Welcome to Unshut, a place where if at any point you feel like you need to shut the up, don't.
Trying to get my damn camera to work.
Make sure this is all working. You
Oh, there
guys
we
hear me
go.
okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear me fine? Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah,
How we doing?
Awesome. How are you guys doing?
Yeah,
I'm
good,
good.
good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm just back from vacation recently. We were at, me and my friends were at a festival in the Czech in Czechia, and it was really cool, man.
That's exciting. What about you, Logan?
I am enjoying a day off work.
Very
So
cool.
yeah, that is all I've been up to recently is just working and stuff. I work for a promoter in Scotland, and we actually had the Foo Fighters on Monday night, so that was pretty good. I got to go and catch a little bit of the show while working, but yeah, nothing much to report other than that. Yeah,
So no vacations for you yet, right?
no, not yet. No, no, no. All
He
work,
doesn't
no
get
play.
many. Yeah, he doesn't get very many.
Awesome. Well, I'm
Sadly.
already recording, so I'm ready to get started if you guys are.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go.
Awesome. Well, bienvenidos a Unshut. I don't know if Maddie told you guys, but we're doing it in Spanish today.
All right. Okay. I don't speak Spanish,
Gracias.
so
I'm totally joking. Do you guys speak any other languages other than English?
I am on a 690-day streak on German on Duolingo,
I
but yeah.
did German until I was like 13 in high school. So like not at all.
What would you guys have done if I just started speaking in Spanish the entire time?
I mean, we just nod and keep going because we could speak Scottish to each other, and I bet you would struggle.
100%. I'd be so fucked for sure. Logan, where are you located? Ian, where are you located?
I live sort of the east coast of Scotland. I work in a city called Dundee, and I live in Perth, and I'm maybe about an hour drive away from Logan, who's I guess on the west, which saying an hour to the east and an hour west to you must sound crazy because it's like such a small country. But yeah,
I'm in Glasgow, just pretty much
plain and
center
simple.
of
Plain and
Scotland.
simple.
So yeah.
Very cool. And now, whenever you guys drop a song,
Mhm.
there's obviously a huge time difference between you guys and, for example, me. I'm here in the US, right? How do
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
guys pick a time? Is there strategy that goes behind that, or do you guys just drop it at a local time for you guys?
So the way it actually works, when you go to distribute the song, you can choose a specific time and day based on wherever the distributor works. I think it's UTC, the time zone they work in, but we've actually found that it seems to work better by you can set it to drop locally at midnight. So the people in New Zealand get it basically a whole day ahead of the people, I guess, on the West Coast, which is seems kind of strange, but it means whenever somebody wakes up on Friday morning, that the songs are there. We tend to drop on a Friday. There's not much of we've not really looked at kind of a localization strategy yet. Obviously, we're UK based, so we probably all of our marketing goes up based on those kind of times, kind of 4 to 7 p.m. our time, which I imagine if you're further to the east, that's a lot later at night or in the morning. But this like 12 p.m., 12 a.m., sorry, like drop actually tends to work quite well.
I mean, I know just in regards to music, we cannot even talk about music without talking about Forever End. Everything about this fucking song is insane. It is just insane. The drums, the vocals, everything in this song is insane.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, of course. I wanted to ask you, Ian, when it comes to doing this song live, do you play back Rebecca's part or do you just take lead on the entire thing?
I take lead vocal on the entire part. She has so when we sent her the song, I recorded the whole thing. I did all the leads, all the harmonies, all the everything, and I recorded the full thing. And I was like, I would like it if you do this like main lead and anything you feel like doing, maybe a couple of harmonies. And she sent back like everything. I was like, oh right, okay. So we have like so much to play with. So because of that, it sounds cool. I think the way it is on the mix, it's mostly my lead and all of her harmonies on the second chorus. So I've tried to actually keep some of them in live, but for the lead part, I just sing them rather than, dancing around for it. So it's a long stretch of time for me to be doing like nothing, and I want to keep the energy moving.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And you guys have
Yeah.
only done one live session with her, right? Or have you guys played multiple shows with her as well?
I feel like she's come up once at
She's
least
come up
on
on stage once, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, on a show in Glasgow, and then we done the live session at the start of this year. with her, and she knocked out the park, man. She's such a good singer.
Were you guys expecting that song to be as well received as it was? I mean, obviously, when you put out a song, you're hoping that it just does the best, right? I mean, you're putting it out because you fucking love it so much. But did the expectation sometimes on a creative level has to be we're putting it out because we like it, not because we want it to be like the it song, right? How did that feel? Because I feel like it was just received so well in a short amount of time.
It was. It was really strange. It's actually our first song that Logan was on in the band. I do love it. It's really catchy. I know it's heavy and we know it's like all of these things, but again, you can never tell. And we were like, oh God, what are we gonna do? Because there's actually, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, you can see like the graph, you can see it do that. Like on like the not straight away. It took like maybe a month for it to like catch. But when it did catch, it was like I said, it wasn't overnight. It was maybe a month of it like building, and everyone that already liked us and our local scene and kind of around the country were like, this song's really cool. We really like this. This is your best one. This is your best one. And then Spotify caught it, a playlist on Spotify caught it, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Logan, what do you think about that? It's almost like you were the lucky charm, right?
Well, here's the thing. The song was recorded already. Like the guys were looking for a drummer, and one of my friends told me about these guys, Ian, in a band called New Shapes. They were looking for a drummer, and I was kind of out of a band for a while. I wasn't really doing much. I was just, working away, doing some stuff. And then I thought, do you know what? Fuck it, let's go. So I messaged Ian, and we just started chatting. And he sent me over for Everend, but it was like, I'm pretty sure it was a demo version. It wasn't
Yeah, it was. Yep.
the end one. And I was like, holy shit, this song is so good. So I had like no involvement in that track, but when I heard it, I was like, man, that's tipped me over the edge already. I really want to carry on and work with this band. I really want to see where it goes, because the song, like as an outsider at that point, I was like, man, that chorus is so fucking good. So I think from there we kind of took it step by step, but like I kind of always had a slight feeling that it would do well. In my opinion, it's definitely one of the stronger songs that we've got, and a lot of other people, they love it, and so yeah, it's been received really, really well.
I think that was really reassuring, because you can record music without certain members, and you can all like double up. But when it comes to live, we were like, we really want someone. We don't want to keep like paying guys and paying drummers, so we were looking for one. And as soon as hear someone that you want to, I don't know, speaking to someone that you want to get involved, and they're like, that's the one. I don't know, that was like even more reassuring before, like even at demo stage, before it was even finished. So I was like, right, okay, we're on to something.
No, and what I love about this song too is that chorus, and obviously a chorus is a chorus for a reason, right? It's what repeats the most in a song, but this is truly one of those choruses that you want to repeat. Like if this song could have been
Yeah.
10 fucking minutes long, I don't think anyone would have complained.
That was actually
Thank you.
it was a deliberate decision. So obviously there's only two choruses in the song, and then you go to the big beat down at the end. And originally, like way, maybe I think I wrote it at this point. Was it June? Like maybe 2 years ago when I come up with the first like demo, and it was verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, chorus. Like there was two more at the end, and I was like, now I'm overdoing it. It needs like this. It needs something. So we tossed them, and we put this insanely heavy section on the end, because when it gets to the end, in context now, it flows nicely into like Wandering, the ballad immediately after it. But even just at demo stage, I was like, I want that chorus to come back. So you go back to the start again. So it was almost like a deliberate decision to make it want to go again.
Oh, it's fucking genius. Ian, so you said 2 years ago, did it ever cross your mind back then that you would have a girl feature on it? Or was that something that came a lot later after the fact?
Definitely not at maybe the section. I've always been a fan of, like, when it comes to feature songs, I don't like, not I don't like, but I always think it's more interesting to do more with it than comes in for the bridge, which is like I don't know. I always like duets, and I have quite a high voice, and if we're not going to go with somebody who's an extremely aggressive screamer, because I can do it, but I've got a very kind of yelly, voicey scream, so we would have to go with somebody very growly and aggressive. So to go away from my voice sound wise, I thought, well, a female voice would be perfect for it. Even if she is singing quite reserved on the verse before opening everything up, and the two of us are like, if on record we're both in unison, hitting the same notes in the chorus, and it sounds massive. So not, I didn't plan on it, but as soon as the idea came to me, I was like, yeah, it has to be whoever it is. And I think we landed on the perfect one.
Oh, it's incredible. And I'll probably never shut the fuck up about it, honestly. Logan, have you ever thought about doing vocals of any sort?
Yeah, I have actually. We actually had a conversation about 2 hours ago where I said that I would like to add some at least backing vocals into like the live set. I think that's something that we're trying to do. We're trying to take a lot more stuff off our backing tracks that we have, to try and make the set seem a lot more live. So I would like to put some backing vocals in it. A little bit off doing that yet. Still got things to iron out first.
I would just say like your drum parts are like ridiculously hard, so it's finding space for that. I think as soon as Logan joined, like one of the defining points of the sound became, okay, yeah, this is just like maybe this one's just like a rock song, but you listen to the drums and there's so much nuance. There's so many things going on the drums and
Yeah.
percussion that like we'll have to write a part that you can sing over at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't have known you guys had that talk a couple of hours ago, so I think it's meant to be. I think the universe is trying to send Logan a fucking message here, okay?
Yeah,
I definitely am.
totally.
I'm coming for your job, Ian.
I love it. Well, and I will also say, listen, obviously it's my job to, I don't know if you guys know the phrase toot your horn, right? I have to stroke your egos. And I will say, Logan, you, for a drummer, not that most drummers don't, definitely not saying that for people listening, but I don't feel like a lot of drummers do have a lot of stage presence. You do. You have a fuck ton of stage presence. And it's not just in the videos, it really does show. So I've been curious to ask you and be like, is he ever going to get on vocals? What's going on?
When I've played drums on stage, I've always tried to make myself a big presence, because when you're stuck behind a drum kit, the least mobile thing you could ever do on a stage is to sit down. So I kind of a lot of drummers that I've watched and kind of grown up watching, like Trey Cool from Green Day, he's like my idol. So it's always been something that I've kind of carried on. And I think from there, I guess subconsciously, it's always just sunk in, and I've always just tried to at least make it look like I'm having a good time. Even sometimes when the gig's shit, it's important to try and not have your face seem that it's shit. But yeah, I mean, who knows? I might try and use that vocally. Who knows?
Absolutely. Well, I think it shows. I think it shows in what you're doing. I think that energy, that character, or even just being authentically you, having that big presence, it's definitely showing. And I think, like Ian was saying, it really did show the catapult and where the music was going with, you know, the drums and where it was heading musically. So I think it's incredible. Something we do here, we jump back and forth a lot. We go from music to whether it's Instagram, social media, whatever it is, but we do bounce around a lot. We don't do things very traditional. We do spice things up a little bit, and I'm known for catching my guests off guard. And I think it's what keeps things a little bit fun. So the best thing I can tell you is everything is always done in light humor, but you just have to go along with it. Okay.
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 Ian, something I wanted to ask you is, when are you bringing the mustache back?
I am not allowed. Our manager, Matty, has told me that I am forbidden from bringing the mustache back. Any form, small, large, handlebar, goatee, nothing. It's all or nothing. I'm absolutely not allowed. I liked it though. I liked it.
It was so funny because I saw a post you had made about talking about the mustache and the journey of the mustache, and I thought it was funny. But another thing I thought was funny was the way you stretch before a show. So we have to talk about that, okay? I don't know if it's a term out there, but it definitely looked on Instagram like you were twerking. We're going to just set the record straight, okay, Ian? Were you twerking in those photos, or were you really stretching?
No, I really was stretching. I've been trying to loosen up my hamstrings recently because I do a lot of big kicks, a lot of really high kicks, and I've got my left leg's really loose, so I can get the left leg up really high. But then my left leg is really tired, so I've been trying to stretch out, get my right leg up there as well. I genuinely do spend like a ridiculous amount of time like preparing, whether it be not talking to anybody, like having a panic attack. Before a show, I am like a totally different person, and then after it's done, I'm like back to me. It's instant.
How old are you by any chance, if you're okay saying?
26. I'm 26.
26. Okay, awesome. So you'll definitely need to be doing the stretching now, because when you get to my age, Ian, it fucking sucks. Okay.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Now, I think this is what I love about Instagram in particular. You really do get to know your guests just a little bit, but it's how we dissect it, right? And I love that both of your guys' personalities show in everything you do. I think, Ian, you're a genius lyricist, in my opinion. I love what
Thank
you're
you.
doing with music. But again, going back to some posts, Logan, you're definitely not going to get away from this yourself. Okay. What is a BN biscuit? Can you explain that to me? Do you know what I'm talking about?
A BN biscuit.
Yes.
Yeah, like it's the old biscuits that have the little face in the middle, right? That's what a BN biscuit is, right?
I think that's what yeah, it's a
Yeah,
little chocolate kind of like
yeah,
wafer
yeah.
thing. I'm pretty sure they're European. I don't think they're British made.
Just needed some clarification because you do have a little bit more explaining to do. So that was just your fucking warm up, okay?
Okay, okay.
So, what does hench as fuck mean?
Hench as fuck. What does that mean? I'm trying to think where you found this from. Hench, like if someone's hench, they're like that. They've got massive arms, big chest, like just yeah, just like a dead strong, well worked out guy. I guess hench as fuck. That's how I would take it.
Okay, well, listen, I wasn't going to say anything, but you totally just reminded me of something. And I promise you, this is not on my fucking notes, Logan, okay? But I did notice there was a post, since you mentioned chest, not me, okay? You made a
Okay.
post about your nip slip. So for an,
Wow, man.
so in honor of your nip slips, whether they're on stage or on Instagram, can we get a little nip slip on the pod today? It'll be the first nip slip we've had.
Would you like a nip slip? I mean,
Absolutely. It'll be my
I'm
first,
game
so
for it. Like nip slip.
Bravo.
first
I
nip slip
know
on
the
the
post you're
pod.
talking about. I know the exact one. I think I was on tour with Berry Tomorrow. I was coming through a doorway, and someone took a picture at that point in time, and I had like a vest on, but like the nip was out. I'm pretty sure. I think that's the one you're talking about. If not,
There's another one.
there's another. Yeah,
It's like a secret OnlyFans fan page for
yeah.
Logan.
Maybe it's
That's
got me
amazing.
giving subtle hints. Maybe that's
He
what it
is,
is.
he is, he is the pretty boy. He's the poster boy now. I may be up front singing, but we put him, the shortest guy, the prettiest guy, right in the middle of all the photos for a reason.
Listen, we
I'm
all
not
have
even
to
that
play a
short.
role.
That's true. Yeah.
Logan, someone commented on your Instagram that it was so cool that you had twin sisters, but that they were still cooler than you. Today in
Okay.
2024, are they still cooler
Mhm.
than you?
Nah, nah, I wouldn't say so. Nah, yeah, they're nice, they're cool, but I wouldn't say they're cool. Nah, nah, nah. It's a lot of sibling rivalry, a lot of sibling competition, but I wouldn't say they're cooler than me. Nah, come on.
Perfect. All right, so we set the record straight with that. And that also prompted me to ask, Ian, do you have any siblings or are you the only child?
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me, my mother, my father, and my mother's dog.
That's why you're so fucking gifted, dude, because
Yeah.
all the attention and love went straight to you. It wasn't shared with anyone else.
Until the dog until the dog came along.
Have you ever wanted siblings or did you like being an only child?
Nah, it was I actually didn't mind it. I grew up in like a small town, kind of maybe an hour away from myself, even farther north in Scotland. So it was a small school, small town. I kind of didn't really need any more than that. I had my music, I had my video games, I had my friends. Like there was no, I've never had it, so I've never needed it. I guess I don't know.
It makes total sense. I know that you had talked about on a post about how long you have known Troy, even though he's not with us today. Well,
Hmm.
not like that. That sounded like he passed away. I don't mean it like that. Sorry, but he wasn't able to be here today.
Hmm.
I know that you have been with him for a while. You guys were in a previous band together. How long have you guys actually known each other?
Probably, well, that band I want to say started in 2018. That's how we met. I was at university just studying in between bands, just trying ones. And you find like when you try and start a band, so many people are just like unmotivated and like they go to like a few practices, they do a few covers and they're like, ah. And it's just, I don't know, I needed a few people that had like bite a bit of hunger to them at the time. When was that? I must have been like 20, 21. And yeah, so I guess I can't remember if it was a post or through a friend, but there was himself and a couple of other guys who later down the line decided they didn't want to be in a band. And that's why we parked that band because that was very much the four of us, that last band. And then myself and Troy, when we came to the end of that band, we're like, well, we want to keep doing music. We want to switch it up. I don't know if you've actually listened to it, but that was a lot more like proggy metal stuff. And we were like, let's switch it up and try and do some like really catchy like rock rock hits. So I guess, yeah, like 2018, I've known the guy.
That's very cool. What did you go to university for?
It was meant to be for something called audio technology, and then it changed name halfway through and like program halfway through. So it's essentially like a math degree with like audio and computers as like the tunnel to look at them through. It's very math based.
Logan, you went to university as well, right?
I did, yes, a few times actually.
What did you go to university for?
The first thing was like a can't remember the name of the course. It was like 2015. I went and it was like supposed to be a degree course, but it was for like rock musicians. Well, we were told it was for rock and pop musicians, right? But the course was based in Perth and higher up. It was actually called the University of Highlands and Islands, which is incorporates all kind of northern and western areas of Scotland. And the course was very much for traditional Scottish musicians. So I'm talking like bagpipes, fiddle, boran, which is the little drum skin thing that you hit, all those sort of traditional instruments, kind of Celtic Scottish sort of vibe. And then when rock musicians came up and had to perform, and the lecturers just never really understood what we were doing. They kind of couldn't really get it, and yeah, it was just a strange time, that one. So I quit. I dropped out. I was like, this is shit. So next time I went back in 2018 and I studied music business, and it worked. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I'd done 2 years there and got a degree.
Very cool. Is that by any chance how you met Maddie, or how did you guys meet Maddie?
I met Matty
Uh,
through Ian.
oh gosh, I think in our last band that I just talked about, one of his old bands were touring. They had two shows in Scotland, Edinburgh, the capital, and Glasgow. And they were like playing another show in England, but they were like, okay, well, it's like a 3 day little run. We should probably get a Scottish band on to help us sell tickets because, you know, they're from quite far south of the country. I don't know if they had a lot of pull back then that time. So they asked us and we had the weekend free. So we said, yeah, we'll go. That's how I met him as like a person. And I think he played bass. And then maybe a year or so later, he had either left or was still in the process of leaving that band. And he was like, just so you know, I'm like managing bands now if you want to like chat about it. And I said, no problem. And I ignored him for like another year and a half until we come to the end of the last band. And I was like, okay, we have no idea what we're doing. And I got on with him so well in like a business sense. Like I really am close friends with him, which is I think important. You don't have to have that kind of relationship to have like a band and manager relationship, but I really do get on with him personally. You know, I can text him and have a big fight with him, blah 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 blah, and then we go over to like where we do our business and we're like totally fine, and then we're like, okay, I'm sorry. Like we have a pretty good and healthy dynamic. So I knew that like when we did this, I wanted him there from the get-go. I wanted him there from the start. He's taught us so much. It's been a learning process for him himself, and he's moved up and up and up to like bigger and better things just outside of us, you know.
No, and I usually don't talk about management on the pod, but Maddie definitely stood out for me. His communication, he just made this process so easy. And I want obviously listeners to know we are in a 7-hour time difference. So trying to coordinate a day and time sending assets with management, it's not always the easiest. So now you add the dynamic of you guys are 7 hours away. He made it so fucking easy. So all my listeners will know I do not ever talk about management or publicists on the pod. There's maybe one or two that I have, but this one's one of them. So shout out to Maddie. We fucking love you.
Yeah, I do love him. He takes pride in that. That's a thing he takes pride
Yeah.
in, kind of being there for his bands. As a businessman, I guess he always communication is like one thing he takes pride in more than anything other. And I appreciate that too because I am extremely anxious and I'm always near my phone in case something is going right or wrong. So it's kind of a perfect pairing, I think.
Yeah, he's a very well organized man, way more organized than me. I couldn't do it.
So now, just because I want to kind of just freestyle a little bit with you guys, okay? What would your text say to Maddie right now if this would have been a Spanish only podcast and he forgot to mention that to you? Logan, you go first.
What the fuck have you signed us up for?
Ian, what about you?
Nice one, dickhead.
You know what's so funny is I don't even know why that popped into my head just now, but it's so funny because I really thought like, I mean, obviously your music is in fucking English, so that's a no-brainer for me, right? But I'm like, man, they're in a completely different country. Like, what if they don't speak very good English? This is going to be really fucking weird. So I'm like, let me try Spanish on them, see, just let me beat them to the punch to it. So totally random. Also, there was a picture Troy had posted with a yellow python. Do you guys know what picture I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that python real?
It's a real
Oh yeah.
snake. It's his dad's snake, and the pictures do not do the justice of how big she is. She is
Oh
like
man.
ridiculously long, ridiculously huge. When he was like, "Oh, we're doing this big gory video," for anyone who doesn't know it, she was used in the music video for Forever and very sparingly because we didn't want the snake to be in like this weirdly dark room, like far away from home too long. So we kind of shot for like 20 minutes, half an hour, got her back in the box and kind of went away. But we were like, we're already doing like worms and blood and zombie makeup. Let's get a snake. His dad just loves animals. So we got the snake, and I knew he had two. And he was like, "Oh, my dad's bringing the bigger one." And when I say like 18 to 20 feet long, I
Yeah,
was
man.
like, Jesus Christ. And I was
Like
like, could you
that
not have,
thick.
yeah,
Like,
could you not have
man.
brought the smaller one? And he was like, "Oh no, he bites." And I was like, "Oh, okay."
The
Big one.
snake was a two-man lift in the box. Like I'm talking like that, like a two-man lift, like either side of this massive box. Yeah. Yeah, it was a real snake.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna say, calm down, Logan. We already showed your nipple. You
I'm
don't
just
need to
getting
stand up
animated.
and I'm
Just
like,
passionate about snakes.
you don't need to stand up and show us your python. God damn it. I said nipple. I said nipple, Logan. Nipple.
God
Jesus.
damn it. I didn't even think.
No, that's crazy. So I do want to do a little vote. Who did it better, Britney Spears or your band member Troy?
I think he's got the sauce. I think she's missing something.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah, sorry.
You guys, please tell me you understood that reference with the
Yeah.
yellow python.
Yeah.
Okay, I
We
wasn't
did.
sure if I was just that much older than you guys or what. I was about to just hang up the call. I was like, fuck this, I'm out.
I love a bit of Britney.
Exactly. I love it. So, just to talk about new music, and like I mentioned before, by the time this airs,
Mhm.
this will already be out. So, we can talk about Heaven Sent. I know you teased it online, you did some teasers on TikTok, but have you ever teased this at a live show?
Yeah. So we played it on the live session. I guess it's technically first, even though it came out after the first show we played it. But this EP that Forever Ends On that we kind of created together, and then we had these extra two songs, which is Feel It, that's already out, and I guess Heaven Sent by the time this airs will be out as well. And those two songs almost felt like they were complete polar opposites. Feel It's this fast, heavy, brutal song with like a real excellent screaming vocalist feature on it in Scott Kennedy. And Heaven Sent is like almost like a British indie pop inspired summer song, but they both contain like all the ingredients that were in these other four songs already. The EP has like a nice flow to it, and we were like, these two songs, I think it would be a disservice to not include them as part of that package. So when we were like, let's do a live session, we decided to add those two songs to the end live. And if you watch that live session, the difference it makes having Rebecca on, or first of all, the whole EP as it already stands, those songs that were already out, plus Heaven Sent and Feel It, like it lifts up the extra musicians we had in that, or absolutely lift up the performances of those two songs. We have played it live, I think, three times now. I might be
Yeah,
wrong about that.
yeah, yeah.
He's just counting there.
Well, and I think that's what makes it so cool. You guys are still discovering your sound, what works, what's not going to work. Obviously, you're here demonstrating that you can pull anything off. This also prompts me to ask another random question. And I just want to also disclaimer to you guys, there is so much going on this episode right now that I did not think we were going to talk about. Okay.
Okay.
So, first of all, thank you guys for being so fucking awesome because
No,
that
no,
is
thank you
what
for
makes
having us.
Oh, absolutely. This is what definitely makes these episodes so special to me because when I'm able to have smooth transitions and kind of like go from one topic to another so smoothly, I feel like a little schoolgirl because it makes me feel like it was truly meant to be. So,
Mhm.
talking about different genres and different sounds, Logan, when are you going to drop your rap album with your cousin?
Whoa, you went far back on the Instagram. That is a proper, yeah, deep dive. I don't know. That was like 8 years ago. We were in Canada, and the picture that was taken just looked like a proper rap album cover. In those 8 years, he's now got himself like two or three kids. So yeah, I don't think it's ever going to drop. Sadly.
Well, I mean, we already talked about you eventually doing some vocals, so if you're gonna spit some fucking rhymes, just let me know. I'd love to be the first to hear it, okay?
Okay, yeah, for sure, man.
In regards to Heaven Sent, the video, where was this location? Because it is absolutely stunning. Please don't tell me it was all green screen.
No, absolutely not. I wish I could afford it. I wish we could afford to do it as a green screen. We worked with a videographer, Katie, who we've worked with a few times for live shows and just kind of like in studio content. She shot a few things you can see on our Instagram and stuff. And I knew that like if I worked with her, she would like get the vision. You know, she's into a lot of kind of similar music as like just me personally, never mind like what our band actually sounds like. So I was like, right, if I come to you with like a few references and like my idea, you'll be able to like flesh it out. We picked a day like what, a month ago maybe we shot it. And
Yeah.
it's just me there, like the rest of the band were working or whatever. I was like, right, this fine. But the plan is just to have me in it anyway. It's not a big deal. It was really sunny on the day. It was like that was sun in the sky, no clouds. I was quite happy. The video was quite obviously like an homage to like Yellow by Coldplay, you know, the really like grey, horrible beach. And I was like, if it rains, that's fine. We can do like our version on that. And we got there and it was like clear skies, and we walked up like this sort of dune. It's a sand dune, and you couldn't see the ocean, you couldn't see the beach. It was all just fog, it was all mist. And it could not have been more perfect for like a random day that we chose. The tide was so far back that you were able to walk far enough that you couldn't see anyone else on the beach. And like 2 minutes back the way, once we were leaving, it was full of people. Like at like the beach was so full that like 2 minutes this way, it was gorgeous. It was luck, pure luck.
Ian, is she the one who on TikTok, there was a TikTok video you made where you asked someone who was recording, and I do believe it was a girl, you were like, do they look like dorks back there? Do you know what I'm
No,
talking
no.
about?
Yeah. No, that's a girl called Jen. She does pretty much all of our photography. I can't remember when it was. We booked her for a show a while ago, and we just hit it off as like friends. So she's always doing shows with us.
Very cool. Well, and I have to tell you too, this is why I believe in just being intuitive and being able to kind of go along with the flow with whatever the universe throws at you. Because the irony about what you just explained about the video is what I actually ended up loving about the video. Because I thought that one, the softness of the tide being so far back mixed with the very drummy tune, as Maddie described it to me, it was a very drummy tune. But you've also described it as a pop summery song,
Hmm.
and yet it was just so soft. And so I thought that the contrast behind the sound and what you got on the video was just stupid genius. And so again, I think it's so cool how the universe kind of set you up for success in that sense.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's totally like I said, the video was totally luck. It actually perfectly marries with like the lyrical content of the song. The song is like half really sad and like half really happy. You can kind of walk through it, and the first chorus is very sad, you know, about like I don't want to just like explain an interpretation because I feel like I want people to like make do it themselves. But I've always like thought it's chorus one is like a very sad look at like having lost someone, which echoes a lot of the feelings of like the rest of the EP, which is why we thought it paired so well. But then you go through the second verse, which again is maybe only 4 or 8 lines, depending on how you count it, and it almost recontextualizes like the second chorus and to be like, that's how like I did feel, and I've now progressed past that. So to have this like bittersweet lyrics with like really pop guitars and synths and really like metal drums on like a really sunny day with a really depressing looking beach. Like I could not. You're so right. The universe is like telling us that this is a good song.
oh, absolutely. Because here's another, mind fuck for you, Ian. Because you aren't, in my opinion, this is just my opinion only, you aren't able to truly allow yourself to feel what you're feeling if you don't know how to give yourself alone time, if you don't know how to sit by yourself in your own thoughts. And so I actually didn't know that it was not intended to be a solo video of just you, but I thought that was the coolest interpretation too. So going back to what you're saying about the universe and the alignment, I think it's so
Hmm.
fucking dope because
Hmm.
it really did also tell that part of the story. Like, listen, in order for you to allow yourself to feel certain things, learn how to be on your fucking own, you know?
Yeah,
So
totally. I think it's really nice that we can look at it this way retrospectively, when at the time it's like, oh, you can't make it. Oh, like, oh, the weather's all shit. Oh, like blah, blah, blah. But then you see the final product. I actually am really, really proud of this song. I think it's probably my favorite to play live because we were missing a bouncy song. I feel like we've got upbeat, we've got like big slow, we've got big choruses, but we've also got quite like a short discography out at the minute, and we don't really want to play a lot of unreleased stuff. So we were missing like a bouncy song, and as soon as I came away with this, maybe a year ago now, I wrote this song actually. It was perfect. I knew married the pop stuff and the heavy stuff. There's a little like guitar solo, but it's not like it's not like a Slash guitar solo. It's like a real like, I don't know, like Oasis kind of like pop lead. It's not at all like a metal track. It's so cool.
Oh, absolutely. Logan, do you find it exciting to bounce back between a bouncy track to a metal song? Does that make it exciting for you as the drummer?
It gives me a rest, yeah. Yeah, so in that respect, it's nice to go, like we recorded Feel It and Heaven Sent on the drums on in the one day, and Feel It took a long time. It's the metal song, it's the heavier track, and then we went straight on to like Heaven Sent, which is kind of more bouncy, a more kind of straightforward song, and I think it took maybe like an hour to do, so yeah, that's great. And then the kind of doing it live on the set, it definitely, I see it come up and I'm going, all right, cool. That song, I could stop, I could take a breather, I don't need to keep moving my arms so much, I can kind of sit back a little bit, and then the rest of the set's always chaos. When I see something like that come up, it's always like a nice sort of reset moment. Just groove with it basically. It's not a flashy song. There's no need to do flashy fills or anything like that. So as a drummer, I really like it, yeah. That I get that time to rest.
I like that. You're like, no need to pull out the nipple while I'm doing this one.
Nah, no need for the nipple, no need for the python. Yeah, just
Ian, just random question for you real quick, because I'm having kind of a little bit of a circle moment. And I want to let you guys know too. Again, I think this is what's so exciting about getting behind the artist's mind. For example, you guys titled, I don't know if it was an EP or anything like that. And again, I'm just totally freestyling right now. So if I fuck it up, don't hate me for it, okay? But you had titled it Alone Again, yet the first track was called You'll Never Be Alone Again, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Was this intentional to foreshadow this, moment of allowing yourself to feel? I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Being alone in your own silence, in your own thoughts. Is that a full circle moment that was intentional? No.
Definitely not intentional. I can give you the actual truth if you want it, or I can go on like a pretentious artist answer if you want.
No, give it to me raw. Whoa,
You
whoa,
want it
whoa,
raw?
okay. Sorry.
no.
We uploaded it as You'll Never Be Alone Again, the album title as well, and then I realized I uploaded the wrong file, but it was too close to the release date to fix that. So you have to upload another one. If it's the wrong file, you can't like replace the file. So I uploaded another one, and I was like, let's go a bit like just fix that, and then I had to delete the other one. So it's totally just ineptitude.
Well,
But I see where you're going with that, because I guess a lot of the lyrics I do write do tend to center around those things, and I think you can listen to those songs. I think it's tracked in reverse order actually. So Echoes was our first, Just Like Me was the second, and You'll Never Be Alone Again was sort of the last song we did before we got kind of Logan involved. I think you can see those two are like testing the water, and that song is me like kind of realizing what I want the band to do. We still take things from those first two songs, like big choruses, like low tuned guitars, like heavy drums. They were like there, but like in terms of trying to be anthemic with it and like massive, I feel like, I suppose you would say you're right, but more about the musical side of it than any intentional lyricism. That's just me pressing the wrong buttons on a computer.
No, that's so amazing. It's also such a good testament to showing that sometimes going with the flow and letting your mistakes kind of become a part of your journey in a very like cheesy way. And again, that was something I had no intention of bringing up, but just kind of talking about it, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm having kind of a full circle moment with some of the titles. And so I think it's like the coolest thing ever. So I geek out about this shit because, the creative mind is so interesting, and every artist will have their own way of doing something creatively. So, but now that we know it was an accident, fuck it, doesn't matter. The last thing I want to do with you guys before we talk about your next upcoming show is in honor of Logan's online debate about whose triangle was better, okay?
It's mine.
I want you both to think of one shape, okay? You just have to follow me along with this one, okay?
Okay.
I want you to think of one shape, and then I want you to look into the camera and use the shape as an insult. I'll go first. Are you
Oh
ready?
my God.
Are you ready?
Go. Yeah.
Okay.
Aw, you little stupid octagon. No one gives a shit.
God. Right, okay, I need to think. Let me think of a shape.
Go for it. Go for it. Take your time. You're good.
There's an obvious one that sticks out to me.
No square.
No
That's
square.
cheating.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I want to try and fit like rhombus in there, like a rhombus or a parallelogram.
I had rhombus in my head as well.
How the
And
fuck do you insult someone with a parallelogram? uh,
you're a parallel bitch.
are you giving him that one?
I think that's Ian's. I think he just stole it with that one. So what's
He
your
did, right?
slogan? Give it to us.
Ah,
Let's go.
shit.
Which, by the
Um,
way, square is exactly, Ian, how I came up with this idea. Because I was thinking of shapes, and I was just like, oh, you fucking square. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
don't know why that popped into my head. I am not a very aggressive person, but I was just thinking of ways to shoot the shit with you guys. And I'm like, well, they're new shapes. They talked about a triangle. Whose was better? I was like, fuck your triangle, you fucking square. That's how I came up with the idea. So
I
that's
like it. I
funny.
like it. I
Fuck your
like it. That's
triangle, you
good.
fucking square. I am at a loss. I think I need to Google some shapes.
Oh, come on, Logan. Don't be a circle about it. Just
Damn,
kidding.
he's so good. He's
You're
so good at
such a
this.
rhombus. I mean, I have nothing to go on here. That's it. That's it. I am struggling for shapes.
The defining moment on the pod where Logan can't come up with a shape, it's just genius.
I
When
can't
when
come up with
Logan's at
shapes.
a loss for words, you know something's wrong.
He
Pretty much.
wasn't quiet about the nipples and Python, so
I mean, is a star a shape? But it's not an insult, is it? A star is more of a compliment.
make it one.
You're a really shit star. Nothing.
Really funnier than trying anything.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked it.
I
You're a
did. I
really
liked
shit.
it. Listen, between nips, lips, and shapes, this couldn't have gone any better for me, so I'm
Nip
happy.
slip shapes and pythons, yeah, I'm all here. I'm all here for the nonsense. Ask Ian
I
the serious questions. I'm here for the nonsense.
I love it. Well, hopefully I've made a good impression. And next time you do a podcast or another press thing, it's not as fun as this one, and you'll think of me and a Python the whole
No.
time. And
This has been
so
great. This has been great. Like,
Yeah, I've had a good
yeah,
time. I've had so much fun.
it's all you guys. You guys have been fantastic. I know you guys have an upcoming show. And again, this is
Mhm.
after this airs, July 26th at the Garage Attic. Am I correct?
Yeah.
With Graphic Nature. Have you guys played a show with them before? Will this be the first time you guys get together?
I don't think we've played a show with them before, but I do love them. I love them. Musically, I'm actually looking forward to meeting them properly. I've listened to them from, I guess, maybe not their first single, but their first record they dropped. I think they're now on their second album. I love them. They're like so stupidly heavy. We have kind of I guess, a complex about like we want to be the heaviest band on the bill because we play like pop songs and it's always like good to put the heavy seasoning on there. These guys are like so stupidly heavy that we're gonna show up and like play ballads and go like, oh, come on. But that's happened to us a few times, and I think the important thing is we have to just try and kill it with like energy because there are upbeat songs on there. I'm not screaming the whole time. We're not going super heavy, but there's heavy moments. We have to make them count, I think is the lesson we've learned from the last few shows we played like this. So I think I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, and if they don't like it, the audience can fucking suck it. So, because I
Yeah,
think
totally.
amazing. Well, thank you guys so much. Please tell
No, thank you.
everyone. No, absolutely. This has been better than I imagined it. And I am just so over the moon. And I promise you guys, like, I usually don't fangirl a lot when I have guests on. But with you guys, I was fangirling a little bit. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you
thank
so
you. I'm
much.
fangirling right now. The python in my pants is, is getting bigger.
stop. Oh my
Good.
gosh.
This has been great. Like, honestly, you're such a good host, man. Thank you for making this so fun, and also all the research you done. That yeah, totally took us by surprise.
I'm impressed. I'm glad
Yeah,
I have a private Instagram for my real life. You've been done dirty here.
I know. I need to take some shit off, man.
I know. Who knows? This could have gone a completely different way. We could have been talking
It could have.
about Ian's pythons, so who knows? Well, amazing, you guys. Thank you guys so much for your time. Please tell everyone where to stream your music, where to find you online for those that are listening and not watching the video. Give it to them.
We're called New Shapes. It's all one word and it's all lowercase, and people get that wrong all the time. Our ats are always at New Shapes UK. All one word. We're on Spotify, YouTube. We're posting a lot more on TikTok these days. Yeah, we're on Instagram, just all the usual places. We have had an absolutely amazing time. I was kind of nervous. I've been at work all day. I'm kind of tired. but you've come on. You've actually like brightened my evening up. So thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, man, it's been great. Thank you.
No, that meant everything to me. Thank you guys again so much, and we'll definitely be in touch, all right?
Thank you. Right, see
Sounds
you later.
good.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, if you've made it this far, don't forget to follow the socials on the screen or in the description below. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you next week.